Your equity is a weapon. Are you using it right? I don't know, but we're here today with Your Next Move with Erica Berry and
Luann Jones. And always remember, your house is not a cash cow.
she gets real hot on this topic. So hopefully we get through this episode today. I'm with Caldwell Banker HBW here at in Chapel Hill, North Carolina Triangle area. Your go-to realtor up here, and Luann's gonna help you out
I
down.
am your number one in New Jersey, Wycott Realtors, Livingston. I'm ready for you.
We're going
Let's
to talk
go.
today about the good, the bad, and the dangerous ways homeowners use their equity, and they do make some bad mistakes. Right? Listen, I'm
Yes,
not.
yes.
I am not one to say that I haven't thought about it because it's hard economic times, right? You got all that equity in the house you built up over time, right? Two
Right.
homeowners, both sitting on maybe like, I mean, people have a lot of equity these days, the way the housing prices have gone up.
Well,
They
there's a
might
100,000 at least.
180,000 in equity, same neighborhood, same year, same market. One of them used that equity to buy, maybe they bought a rental property, which I think is a good way to use equity, right? And today
Yeah,
she collects
yeah, I believe
$2,100 a month.
I believe that's called hypothecating. So
Hypothesis.
basically, when you pull out equity from one house and you buy another one, that's what it's called, I believe.
Yeah, hypothecating, which I actually thought about doing for my daughter who's in college. I talked to you about it because I was like, well,
Right.
we're paying. Why don't we buy something? And then her roommates pay us, and then we
Right.
have an asset, and we've used equity to buy it. So I mean, and you're allowed to do that, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I won't get into that today. That'd be another podcast.
That's another
Okay, so
podcast.
but today she collects $2,100 a month in passive income, and her worth has doubled. I believe that's a good way. Just like you said, the other one pulled the same amount out, renovated his kitchen, bought a boat, and took the family to Disney World. And today
Woo!
he has a higher mortgage payment, no savings cushion, and he's house rich and cash poor. Same starting out point, completely different outcome. So today we're going to show you exactly which side of the equation you want to be on. And Luann has some very, very strong opinions on it, and so did my husband. I was going to have him as a guest speaker here today, but he declined politely. He would come
Yes.
back. He's
He'll
very
come,
busy.
but yeah, he's a little busy. But
So,
the problems that I've seen over my 21 years, especially when the market crashed back in 2008, where we had that, that bank crash, was that, well, it was the ARM, number one, where they said, oh, get the 5-year ARM. I was never on board with that. That's another topic. But anyway, they would start pulling equity to pay credit cards, like you said, buy new cars, a lot of paying of credit cards. I've seen people had, 50, 100,000, believe it or not, back then with credit card debt, and they pull out the equity. And the problem is you keep pulling out like a cash cow. You keep going to the well to bail you out on whatever problems you have, until the point where there's no more equity. You can't go anymore because you can only pull out 70% of value. Can't pull out
okay.
100%. Now we're in a stage where there's a lot of equity, so you could fall into that trap again. And, my advice would be, pay for your child's college education. That would be something that you would need to do because, there's no greater gift than giving your child the best education possible for their future. And even that's going to be, a sacrifice.
Yeah.
But the number one is, I like you said when we were talking about apothecation, is taking an equity, a line of credit, or a lot, nice chunk of change there that you've built, and invest it and get another like rental property. And the rentals are very good right now,
Right.
so you could really maximize on making your rate of return on your investment there.
Okay. So three smart moves is, like you said, the investment property. You got to show that cash flow math. Another thing I think is probably paying off maybe high interest debt. Credit cards are 24%. I mean, you're already paying on that, so it's not like it's going to take, well, you don't like that. You don't like that? You don't like it?
Well, I mean, look, do it responsibly. Don't be like getting yourself out of debt and then doing it again and again. There's, repeat offenders here.
There's a lot of repeat offenders. The credit cards have a 24% interest rate. Usually a HELOC has about an 8%. And then you can also make sure that when you do pull it out, if you do pull it out for structural things or repairs or redos, that it actually is going to have a significant return on your investment. Like if you have a house that has a lot of equity and it has very dated kitchen and baths, and you know that if you did that, your value of your house would go up and you could sell it, that might be okay.
That might be okay, but there's also ways of going about it. I mean, refinancing is not always the way because you'll have probably a low interest rate. Your interest rate could be 3.5, back when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And, you don't want to do a refinance now because the rates are like 6.5, 6.2.
6.9, baby.
Did it go that high?
Yep.
Well, wow. I didn't realize it was that high. But anyway, here you go.
Clicking up there, I think.
Now, you're not going to go from a 3.5 or a 4 or a 5 and go to a 7. So what you need to do is do what they call a HELOC.
Right.
And that's a home equity line.
And that's what I was just talking about. The HELOC is at 8%. Home equity line of credit, right?
Yeah. So basically, that's the way to go. And it's 8% on what you're borrowing. So it's not like the whole house.
That's
good. It's just like if you're taking 100,000 or 150 or 200,000, it's 8% on that. And you just have to be careful too, because now you're going to have your mortgage payment and then the HELOC payment. So you got two payments.
You are correct about that. So I guess one question is if your investment goes to zero tomorrow, can you still make your mortgage payment? Like if you did an investment property and it went to zero, and if not, you're not investing, you're gambling. So that's why you don't like it so much. And I always say, your nest egg, your house and your nest egg, the equity in your house, especially if it's been over time, is something you can pass down to another generation. So you want to guard it with your life, right?
Right.
Guard it. Don't just use it frivolously, trying to make smart moves with it.
Yeah, the cash cow syndrome.
The dangerous moves are lifestyle funding, going deeper into the boat on a boat. If you bought a boat, why? Over improving.
You're spending money on that boat. Every time you take it out of the water, into the water, you're spending boatloads of money.
Doing an $80,000 kitchen in a $300,000 neighborhood. You've seen that happen.
Oh, yeah.
You over improve for the area and the interest rate. I mean, right now, I got a good interest rate on my mortgage, so definitely something that would not do the entire mortgage would be great, right?
Right.
Pause. If you want to know where you stand, are you sitting on equity right now? We're pausing, we're telling you, listen, wondering what to do with it, or I've already tapped it and it didn't work out. Like, subscribe, and share, and just share this thing and think about it hard before you do it, right? And if you're getting value from this episode, share it with the person who owns a home. That's all we ask is you share it. That's it, right?
We like to pay it forward.
Like I was like, oh, listen, you buying, adding renovation, you have to look at funding, lifestyle, dangerous. So the takeaway is smart equity moves is you agree that if you bought another investment property, it could make you money. It is a gamble. It could be a gamble. You got to be very strategic about that. But
there's always the other side of the coin. It's not always the heads, the tails comes out. You have to do the worst case scenario. Now that's why when you get these investment properties, you could, claim like 3 months of, non-vacancy. So you have to analyze that, there's a chance people won't pay their rent. They could have a job situation or a crisis. I mean, are you prepared for that?
Stuck with it. Yeah.
And
then if you pay off high interest debt strategically, but you don't recommend that because, people who get into debt usually get into debt again. It's a problem in the United States of America and all over pretty much, but big time here. Yeah. And then making sure you don't over improve if you're taking it out for improvements. So dangerous moves are using it for your vacations, cars, toys, right? Mm-hmm. And then pulling equity out in a declining market. If the value of your house is going down like a like a rocket ship coming down to the ocean. Which I'm seeing a lot of values. People who bought in 2020, people who bought in 2021, the values are not like they want them to be. Like they paid all this money for the house.
Yeah.
They might have overpaid for it a little bit and they would like to sell. And the problem is I'm having to tell some people, unfortunately, the house is not worth what you paid for it.
Breaking even would be a bonus, you know.
Bottom
at that
line
point.
at this point. So, you know, so that's our short episode. We did a short episode today on that, but that is something that we're seeing a lot of in these economic times. So we figured we give you a little shoot on it, you know. And if you want to buy an investment property with your equity, call me today.
Yeah, call me today too if you're looking in New Jersey.
Luann and Erica are here to help you find that investment property and run those numbers for you. That's the whole point, right, Luann? Run those numbers.
I'm working on an investment property. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of money, but he's willing to travel. So we're going on the border of Pennsylvania, but not quite in Pennsylvania. And I'm looking to get him like a reasonable house, and then he's going to rent it. And I did some comp work on what the rentals are, and he's looking, if all goes well, he's looking to make a $400 a profit. So that's pretty good for a $225,000 investment.
Well, and not only that, but you also get the write-offs too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
You
those are
get
good.
the write-offs, you can
especially if
have
you need 'em.
depreciation. There's tax shelters with owning property. So
So
save
next
your
time-
pennies, people.
Save your pennies. Next time we're going to talk about something people don't want to talk about. What happens when the real estate market shifts? I mean, okay? And you're over leveraged. It's not a scare episode. It's a prep episode. When people come out in the downturn are the ones who plan for it. Make
That's right.
sure
You're-
you subscribe
you're-
so you don't miss it next year. 5 stars takes 20 seconds and it helps this show reach to homeowners who need this to hear this stuff. So
Yep.
go make smart moves with your equity and we will see you next time on Making Moves. But your next move with
Your
Erica.
next move, you're making moves, is on another one.
That's on Monday. Your next move with Luann and Erica. Signing out. Talk to you later.
Until tomorrow.